Greetings from Iquique, Chile. We are Pedro and Stephanie Garcia with our children Eva, Isabel, Owen, Ian, Alec, and Silas. We find ourselves in the month of April, normally the time of year when school has just started and all the preparations that go along with it. This year, however, Chile, like much of the world, is at a standstill. Entire cities and neighborhoods remain under strict lockdown, with only 2 permissions per person per week to leave home for necessary supplies or appointments. Needless to say, ministry today does not look like it did when we arrived in Iquique 12 years ago. But God's purposes remain the same, and we count it a privilege to continue to serve Him among the people of Chile.
In our current ministry, Pedro wears many hats. As team leader for the ABWE Chile field team and our Iquique branch team, as pastor of the Iglesia Bautista de Fe church plant, as board member of ABWE's Chilean seminary, the Facultad Teológica Bíblica Bautista, as teacher, counselor, and of course, as husband and as father to our 6 children. Our oldest is 20 and our youngest is 5, so there is never a dull moment in the Garcia household.
We rejoiced that on March 19th, the very first baptism of the Iglesia Bautista de Fe church plant were held. 2 women, Roismar from Venezuela and Rosaida from Cuba, chose to publicly follow Christ in obedience after placing their faith in Him for salvation. Rosaida's testimony was very special to us because she was saved through the ministry of the Florece Prenatal and Family Counseling Center, where Stephanie serves as president and volunteer counselor. Over the past 4 years, God has allowed this ministry to reach more than 200 women. The gospel is presented in word and in deed. We thank God for the blessing of sharing His love in this way with our community in Iquique.
We are so grateful that no lockdown can confine the Word of God. Each Sunday, the Iglesia Bautista de Fe gathers virtually by way of Zoom to sing, pray, and study together. A highlight of each service is the Spot Infantil, a 5-minute object lesson for the children who attend. Personally, for us as parents, it is a great joy to have our 3 older sons on their guitars accompanying the songs we sing in worship. As a church family, we are studying the epistle of 1 John and praying for God to strengthen and multiply our small body of believers despite the difficulties of the time we live in.
There are over 200,000 inhabitants in the city of Iquique, and the spiritual needs are great. Religious mysticism and syncretism vie with agnosticism and secularism for the hearts of the people. Families already struggling have been further broken by the pressure of this worldwide pandemic. Only Jesus can provide the eternal assurance and present purposes for their lives. Thank you for praying for Iquique and for our family as we seek to remain faithful to the calling God has placed upon our lives.